Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to film a video on showing beginners or showing people that don't know a lot about makeup or makeup brushes but are getting into makeup, like which makeup brushes you're going to use and how to use them, like what I specifically use the brushes for. Maybe you're the type of person that you don't really think makeup brushes make a big difference in your makeup. And I'm here to say that it does make a huge difference. The makeup brushes that you have and use, the different makeup brushes that you use, like, will create different effects. So the two main brands of brushes that I tend to use are Real Techniques and Sigma. And I know that there are a lot of other different makeup brush brands out there, and I would love to try some other ones. You don't necessarily have to have these exact brands. It's more about the shape of the brush. I mean, you want a good quality brush that's not going to shed everywhere, but my all-time favorite face brushes, I have to say, like, that I own are my Real Techniques brushes. This first brush that I'm going to mention from Real Techniques is the large powder brush. And this brush can be used for a lot of different things. Like, you can use it to set your foundation, like with powder. You could use it for like a mineral foundation to like buff the foundation all on your face. But what I mainly use this large powder brush for, I guess it's not really large, it just says powder brush on the back. But what I like to use it for is for bronzing. I'll use this to like bronze up my face, bronze up my cheeks, and like down here on my jawline. So this brush I mainly use for bronzing, and I think it is an amazing bronzing brush. Then a new brush to my makeup brush collection, but it's becoming like one of my all-time favorite brushes, is another Real Techniques brush, and this is the Sculpting brush. And what I like to use the Sculpting brush for is for contouring, and especially just like contouring here in the hollows of my cheeks. I'll just take it here like in the hollows of my cheeks. If you don't know where that is, if you just suck in your cheeks and kind of follow back to your ear, that's where you would contour. And that's what I like to use this brush for. It's perfect for contouring because it has that nice angle to it. And I know that the NARS Ita brush is a great contouring brush. I don't own it, but I got this because I thought it might be a good option for contouring. Instead of spending like $30-something on the NARS brush, I want to say that this brush was $5 or $8. Not 100% sure, but it's so much more affordable than that one, and it works awesome. So that's what I like to use that brush for. Then my next brush is the Real Techniques blush brush. And I love this brush for blush because it's not super dense and it is tapered. Also, with the Real Techniques brushes, they are all super soft and they're synthetic hairs. So if you don't believe in buying makeup brushes that are from animal hairs, the Real Techniques brushes are a great option because they're not made from animal hairs. They're made from synthetic fibers. But the brush is tapered and it's not super dense, so when you go to put the blush on your cheeks, it really diffuses the blush out and makes it a lot easier to blend, and it just works a lot better. I would have to say, over my Sigma like blush brush, I like this better. I still use my Sigma one, and this is also a great blush brush, but I think if I had to pick one over the other, I would definitely pick the Real Techniques blush brush. It's such a tongue twister. This one is from Sheer Cover, and if I can find a link to this brush, I'll link it down below because I don't know. I think the only place you could get it is from Sheer Cover, but I like to use this brush to set my under eye concealer with under eye setting powder, like my e.l.f. High Definition Under Eye Setting Powder. It just does a good job of getting the powder on my under eye area and not like caking it on because it is fluffy. Two other face brushes that I use occasionally. It's been a while since I have used these, but I did want to mention them. These are the Sigmax brushes. This one here is the flat Kabuki F70. So if you're looking for a good brush for applying foundation, if you are the type of person that doesn't like to use makeup sponges like the Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge or the Beauty Blender, if you're not a sponge girl and you'd rather use a brush, this brush is awesome for foundation. Because it is so dense and soft, like it applies the foundation flawless. So yeah, I love this brush for applying foundation. And then for like under eye concealer, I like to use the Tapered Kabuki F86, which is a dense, like tapered brush, and it fits so nice like on your under eye area to blend out under eye concealer. Like I said, it's been a while since I've used either one of these brushes because I'm more of a sponge girl. Like, I love my Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge, and I'm sure that if you've watched a lot of my tutorials, you know that. But yeah, that's what I use these for, and I do highly recommend these. I think they are worth it. And I do have this brush here from Sheer Cover that I use for highlighting, but honestly, I need to find a better brush for highlighting. I just use this one because it is not dense at all, and it really helps to just lightly highlight your cheekbone area. So if you guys know of a good highlighting brush, like a good brush for applying a highlight, let me know down in the comments. So yeah, I wouldn't necessarily recommend this, but I did want to mention that because I feel like some of you all will be asking what I use for highlighting. One other face brush that I did want to mention is the e.l.f. Kabuki Brush. And I love this brush so much. I think it's like $6 from e.l.f. or it might be $3. I don't remember. It's not very expensive. And this is what I use to set my foundation with like a face powder. And it's so dense and so soft. All you have to do is just dip it in the powder, and then I just pat the powder on my skin like this with the brush. So yeah, that's what I use this brush for, and this is definitely a must-have for setting your foundations with powder. Then my last must-have makeup brushes are eyeshadow brushes, and all of the eyeshadow brushes that I own are from Sigma. Like I said, I would like to try out some other eyeshadow brushes. It's just that I've had these makeup brushes since I started YouTube, and I love the results that they give me, so I just continue to use them. The ones that are the pink coral color, I got them in the Make Me Blush kit, which I think is a great value if you are a beginner with makeup and need to get a lot of makeup brushes. I know that the price on that has went up over the years. I know whenever I first got it, it was under $100. Like, it was $99 for the set. And I know it is more expensive now, but I think it is well worth it. So, and like I said, with these brushes, you don't necessarily need to get Sigma. As long as you find brushes that are the same shape, you can use them the same way. So the first brush that I recommend is like a tapered brush like this, and this is the Tapered Blending E40 by Sigma. And what I like to use this brush for is to blend colors in the crease of my eye. And when I want not a super defined crease area, but I want the color to be very diffused in the crease, this is the brush that I like to use for that. And then when I want, and sorry that my makeup brushes are dirty, I used them today because I did this makeup tutorial. If I have that makeup tutorial posted, I'll link it down in the description box. It might not be up yet. I'm not sure when I'm going to post the videos. This brush here, the E25 blending brush. So I don't know if you can tell the difference. Like, the E40 is bigger and fluffier, and the E25 is like more pinched. So you can get more, like, and when you turn it to the side, it looks wider, but when you turn it this way, it's more pinched. So since the brush is like that, it's a better brush to get a really precise color in the crease. And this brush I also like to use in the outer V to just really blend colors in the outer V area to give your eyes like a really cat eye look. So that's what I like to use the E25 blending brush for. Then another brush that I feel like is a must-have is the Sigma E30 brush, which is a pencil brush. And what I like to use this brush for is to like apply eyeshadow to the lower lash line, because it does have a point and it is precise. That's what I like to use this brush for. I know that you could use it for other uses, but that's my main use that I use it for. And I also like to use the Concealer F70 brush for the same purpose, like to smudge like eyeshadow or eyeliner on my lower lash line. You can also use this for concealer, but I like to use it on my eyes more. These two brushes here, I feel like everybody should own these two brushes for sure. These are shading brushes, and one is a large shader brush and the other one is like a small or like short shader brush. And what I like to use these brushes for is to put colors on my eyelids. So to put eyeshadow on my eyelids, that's what I like to use these brushes for. The smaller one is the E55, like the short shader brush, and then the large shader brush is the E60 by Sigma. The next eyeshadow brush that I feel like is a must-have is the Sigma Angled Shading E70 brush, which is like an angled brush. What I like to use this brush for is to apply like brow bone highlight. Since it is angled, it really fits into that area nicely. Or I also like to use it here in the inner corner because it also fits very nicely there to apply eyeshadow. So I know that other people use it for other uses, but those are the two main uses that I use this brush for. So I mean, when it comes to eyeshadow, I think everybody should own one of these brushes or a brush that's shaped like this in a different brand, because I use these brushes almost every single day when I do an eyeshadow look. I just feel like these are must-haves. And then the last eyeshadow brush that I'm going to mention is the small angled E65 brush. And it's just a very small angled brush. Now, I don't use this brush too often, but what I like to use this brush for is for gel eyeliner. So if you have a gel eyeliner, this is great for applying it to the upper lash line. And since it is angled, it's very easy to get a wing, like to get a wing out here in the outer like corner of your eye. So that's what I like to use this brush for. You could also use this brush for like applying eyeshadow, like powder brow products to your eyebrow. I usually use a pencil, so I don't really use this for that, but that you can use it for that. So yeah, I hope that this video was helpful for some of you guys out there that are just starting out with makeup and don't really know what brushes you need or how to go about using them. So like I said throughout the video, you don't necessarily need these exact brand of brushes, but if you can find brushes that are that shape and are decent quality where they're not going to shed, that's what you need for like a beginning like makeup kit. So yeah, like I said, I hope this was helpful. If it was, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up or let me know down in the comments. Also, if you aren't really a beginner, or maybe you are, but you have some makeup brushes that you really like that I didn't mention, let me know about them down in the comments, because I would be curious to try out some new makeup brushes, because I'm kind of one of those people that's like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So since these brushes have been working out really great for me, I haven't really ventured out into different brands. So yeah, just let me know down in the comments, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye-bye, guys. Mwah.